Hey everyone, we're here again. This is Corine La Font, your favorite radio host, your only radio host and favorite girl, of course, broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean on Between the Lines. And you know how we do it here on Between the Lines? We are always grateful, or as I say, thankful. I am thankful to be above ground, to be here another day. It's a beautiful, bright, sunny day. Before you know it, the sun is coming up on my skin shortly. And I know the last time Karl was on, you could see him here again. He was so envious of the sun being on me. So he might see the sun here on me again. again. Okay, because where he is, there's no sun hitting him right now. Okay, I'm trying to get him to turn from white to black. Okay, but he can't do it where he is. So he clearly needs to come over in the Caribbean to be black. Okay, that's the only way to do it. All right. So as you can see, Karl is here again. He's clearly a lover of my show. I've lost count. I think this is his fourth time. And you will be seeing him again in about the next 2 days discussing another topic. Now, the topics that he chooses is not normally the topics that I will discuss or is normally the format of my show. But because he has been such a wonderful guest, I'm allowing him to do this, and to be able to spread his message. But this is not normally the format of my show, to discuss certain topics beyond the scope of what Between the Lines covers. But he has been such an awesome guest on my show. So let me tell you a bit about what we're talking about today, which is something that has been in discussion for many years: climate change. Yeah, some practical steps. I'm open to learning. It is not a core topic that I am au fait with. This is not within my realm. So I am very open to learning a lot from Karl, and I'm sure you would be open to learning. And how we as laypersons, human beings, can make a contribution in the service of mankind and the ecology and nature and climate, in order for us, as part of that ecology, to be able to live longer, live better lives, and live as part of the ecosystem. So let me tell you a bit about Karl. So Karl de Leeuw is one of the world's leading campaigners of 1, world peace via the truth; 2, climate change via the reduction of atmospheric methane; and healthy eating via the Seagan diet. We discussed both of them already, as well as retaining the right hemisphere gift of dyslexia. We discussed all those 3 topics as well, and I will be linking all of Karl's episodes on Between the Lines on the YouTube channel in particular, so that you'll be able to find them one after the other. Karl is the author of the Universe Code, the Healthspring Code, and the Dyslexia Code, and is the founder of lifesurpose.me, which is a website we'll be featuring a little bit later, as well as a few others that once we have the time, we'll be able to focus on a few others. And Karl wants to discuss climate change practical steps today. So let's welcome Karl officially to Between the Lines. Welcome, Karl.
Thank you, Corine, and for having me on again, and for introduction, and for your the sunlight that you're beaming onto London here in the UK. Yeah, today. So you've introduced me. Now, up to March 2019, I started in about 2011 to research my 3 books, but I worked on projects, and then I'd take a 6-month break, and then I did everything after hours. I was a chartered quantity surveyor, and I've also got an MSc in property development, so I've been in both fields. But now I'm trying to get my 3 books out and making a living out of it, and speaking, etc. So I've had because I'm in the building industry, I've got a bit of knowledge on that side, but also I built a house, the one that pulled me under financially, in Dublin, Ireland, in 2007-8, and there we drilled a 200-meter deep hole into the earth, and then you put a plastic tube down. It goes down and comes up, and you fill it with certain chemical, and that goes to a heat exchanger. And then that heat exchanger heats the underfloor heating with the help of a little bit of electricity to something like 30 degrees, and that you've got underfloor heating. So you have a loop in your under the floor, which is gradual heating. I was going to put some solar panels on the top, but it went under. It was sold at auction. I lost everything. Also, during that time, I, with my family, test drove a Nissan Leaf electric car, but because of the finances, I never got to it. So I've had an interest in that. But fortunately, over the last year, I'm an alumni at London South Bank University in London, and I talked on one of the 3 series. Sort of, one was a week long, another 3 days, another day, kind of thing, and it just updated me again on climate issues, which was very, very useful. So thank you, London South Bank University. Now, the butterfly effect. We think we cannot really do something, but if every person of the 8 billion people on Earth did something small, we could make a huge difference. So I'd just like to I would like to give some practical steps, not way out steps, but practical steps of what you can do, and call on you to do these things for your part to make the world a better place. Because we have to make, each person needs to affect change. Now, we're good at fixing things. In the 1670s, I remember growing up in Pretoria, South Africa, CFC was a big issue. So the aerosol sprays and CFC in refrigerators. And now the North Pole, they reckon the ozone layer will be fixed by 2030. And Antarctica, South Pole will be fixed by 2060. I don't know where that lag. So we're good at fixing, and countries are now going to fix CO2. And as you know, we've got COP26 here in Glasgow, UK this year in November. So I just want to go through a few practical, small things. The first one is plastics. So I call on the UK government. I was a Remainer, but now we've exited by Brexit. We nimble to, by 2025, to stop all plastics coming into the UK that cannot be broken down, so that, when they go to waste, what do they call it? There's a word for it where it sort of breaks down. Because you now get PLA plastics, which is made from sugarcane and corn and things like that. Now, yes, that is going to bring a push on farming, and we don't want to cut down forests, but we need to intensify farming, and farming can be done, I'll discuss that under food, in the back of your garden as well. So you have to start somewhere. So the UK has taken the lead to say one of a few countries taken the lead to say by 2035, no more petrol or diesel cars. So you can have a car but no car manufacturer may produce a car after 2035 that's not electric. So I'm asking for the same for that. Then this is plastic. That's the plastic that's made from either corn or something like that. So even if that can be recycled again, but it's biodegradable is the word. But on the outside, so this is what I use as a teacup. You've got cork. Now, the reason why cork is so good, because we mustn't cut down trees, but cork is different, because every 7 years, a cork tree, you remove the cork on the outside, then the cork tree that you can then use for your cork, which is a good insulator as well. As soon as you remove the cork, the CO2 absorption, which is what we need to do, increases approximately between 3 and 5 times. So that's something I discovered by London South Bank University course. So we need to have, and this is teacup. Whenever I go out now, that's what I use. So you cut down on using plastics or paper cups. Food. I know from the spirit world that in the future, food will have no monetary value. Now, this might be many years down the line. And I believe that food will be, it's all about mineral vitamin content in it. But that's another talk we've already discussed, because people will grow food in their back gardens. We need to go organic. We need to cut out pesticide. So I invite you to go at least 70% organic. And I shop at Little, which is the cheapest, one of the cheapest UK supermarkets. They're starting to do a lot of organic stuff, fruit and veg. And tinned seafood is very cheap, and it's all organic. It comes from the sea, like wild salmon, or many other fish. And certainly on organic tea, out of interest sake, they did a survey in the UK with tea bags, and they found that only PG Tips, but PG Tips is not currently organic, Clipper and Puka, only the three of them, their tea bags are biodegradable, so they break down, where the other ones didn't. So they could be in plastic for the next 100, 200 years, because they're made from fuel, from gas, from petrol, diesel, sort of petroleum-based products. So certainly the thing to do is to check what tea and whatever you use. So that's a very small things. Clothes, less is more, one of the secrets of the universe. So, I'm single now. I got divorced, and I'm sort of, I haven't got a permanent base, but I've literally got a small, if I had it now, I could show you, travel bag that even with Ryanair, I can put in the hold, and a small little black bag. That's all I've got. I can pack everything into that. I've got nothing else. I used to have a lockup with my stuff, but it cost me like €150 a year. So I just gave it all to charity. But less is more. Don't just buy good stuff that you can use for as long as possible. And so that's a very practical thing you can do. Clear out, give away to charity. The one thing I heard at London
Karl,
South Bank is...
I'm going to ask a question.
Yeah?
Why, when we hear the term climate change, I mean, and the sun is coming in on me here now, you can see how bright everything has gotten. People hear the term climate change being thrown around a lot. What does it really mean? If you were to break it down for a child in a classroom, what would you say climate change is? And why should we care about it, really?
Well, the Industrial Revolution started like something like 1850 or slightly before that. So it's been going on for about 170 or so years. And since then, the temperature of Earth has been increasing. So they're trying to stop it not to increase more than, I think, 1.5%. And it's the gases, CO2 is the main one, carbon dioxide, which trees, as you know, absorb. So this is for people, obviously, most people know this, but for some they don't. Now, I sort of follow the UN climate things and whatever, and all the governments. The small, someone like Trump, he's famous for not caring too much about the climate and thinks it's a hoax. Those countries that are on these UN things and stuff like that, a lot of them are small islands. And they seeing that, they know that the sea level is going to start rising because the Antarctica and North Pole is starting to melt. That's a fact. And their weather temperatures are changing. So these are the main ones squealing at the moment. That, if you've got a small island, you can see the seas are going to increase for your future descendants, and the storms are increasing. They're squealing at the moment. And it's all trying to reduce it. But to me, personally, it goes much further to that. Why should you walk in a street that is full of gases? I studied the 7+1 longevity nation in my book, the Healthspring Code, and they all in the foothill of the Himalayas before there was all these things. So why should you be breathing in all this this rubbish? And trees absorb CO2. It's good. It produces oxygen, and yeah. So that's sort of. So we need to do something about it, and quick. And we are. Fortunately, most countries are now following suit. Okay,
I want you to be able to share like two things. Before you go on, I wanted to share like two things that you think the everyday person living in a family household can do. Children, husbands, wives, typical person. What are two things that you think we could do right now, today, in order to help in terms of climate change, make our contribution on this?
Okay, number one, get a cup that you use for all your tea and whatever whenever you go out, so you don't have to use any cups of teas or whatever. So you ask, when you get a tea at the place, you ask them to fill this up. That's made from PLA and cork on the outside. That will be a massive contribution. So that's number one. Number two, on food, go cut out pesticides, because that's also not good for the climate to put pesticides on products. A lot of people have weed killers on their lawns, and their kids are rolling on the lawn thinking, oh, it's fantastic. But the pesticides enters the body. But more than that, pesticides are on all non-organic food. So anything that's not organic has got pesticides in it. And the pesticides gets trapped in our cells. Okay, we've talked about that in the past. So that's two things. But let me give another thing. What we discussed: have less clothes, because every time you're producing the clothes, it's a carbon footprint. I'll get to number three: toilet and bidet. Now, this was one I picked up at the London South Bank. So we're using an incredible amount of toilet paper, especially in lockdown. As you know, there was toilet paper sold out the first lockdown, certainly in the UK. And what we should go is single toilet and bidet. I've never used a bidet in my life. For those that don't know, it's water spurts and cleans your backside and kind of thing. And so you might say, okay, Cape Town in South Africa had a water shortage, but that generally we have enough water. Cape Town just didn't plan properly. So we need to not cut down trees to produce paper. So that's a practical thing. When you next update your house, instead of putting a normal toilet, put a bidet and don't use toilet paper. Next thing, number four, when you on
Don't
your
go
washing
number four
machine.
yet. I want to accommodate a question that came in from the watching audience. I want to accommodate a question from the watching audience. Somebody's asking here, she has been listening and watching. What do you think about green energy? This is from Stickman Sam 09. I don't know what the rest mean. It will be POG to tell me. I don't know. What do you think about green energy? If you can briefly answer that question, and then we could move quickly to the websites that you want to showcase.
Yes, I'm coming on to green energy. So I'm going to answer that as we come there. Thank you for that fantastic question. We're nearly to the links, Corine. Okay, 800 spin washing machine.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of spinning at 1,600, only spin your washing machine at 800. Yes, the clothes are not as dry. Just put it outside if you trim it for a bit longer, and your washing machine will last longer. You use less energy. So a very practical step number 4 that you can do. And for people in the UK, just hanging it up longer. The houses are warm. We're using heating in any case. So it's just a bit of discomfort. So that's a number 4. Number 5 is sort of, it is a climate one. Okay, so yeah, Corine, if we can share the first link, which is acacia.org, please.
Let me grab that for you.
So this is the 5
just
very
give me 1
simple thing.
second here.
This one is so simple. I'll talk about that so long. So a green website is ecosia.org. We're going to Corine is going to kindly bring it up for us now. So they claim not only to use 100 green energy for the questionnaire, but also in addition to the green energy, if you go down a little bit, Corine, you'll see that they, just on that website, just go down a little bit. A bit more down. More down. More down. Okay, stop. Thank you, Corine. So in the middle, it says more than CO2 neutral. Our servers run on 200% renewable energy. So I think they're using 100% green energy, so solar or wind, or maybe wave, and they plant trees. So this is number 5. Very quick. Set your browser so that you use this ecosia.org. Okay, if you can bring up the next one, I'm going to talk about structured water. It's that structurewaterproducts.com, please, Corine.
Is that the Clayton's
It's
water?
the Clayton Knowlton one. Yes, it's the Clayton Knowlton one.
Yes. Let me just do this.
So, just while you're doing it, structured water was invented by a guy called Clayton Knowlton. And there's Clayton. Now, a lot of people are following what he's now doing. If you can just go down a little bit, Corine, and a little bit more, and then stop there. No, a little bit more down, please. Okay, now there where it says structured water, can you just click on that, please? No, that's structured water that you've gone past. Just click on that. Yes, there. Oh no, you're back to the website again. Because I want to show how that device, maybe that structured water, that bigger one that says structured water. Maybe click on that. No, you know it says structured water in blue there. Just click on that structured water, big in cap. Yes, that one. Let's see what happens now. Okay, maybe go down a bit. Bit more until we see a device. Until we see there. Stop, please. Excellent. So that is a structured water device. So all that this device does. So in nature, water flow over cobblestones, and it energizes the water, and it makes the minerals in the water dance differently. So that's what Clayton says. I've interviewed him once. Now, what they've done, and I had to figure this out for myself, they have this device, just a big tube, and it pushes with a heavy flow of water. So you put it on your mains line before you get to your kitchen sink, the mains water before it gets into the house. And you push water with a hell of a flow and pressure over balls, which is literally, they used to use glass balls. I think they use plastic balls now. So it mimics the water over cobblestones, but it actually quickly enhances it. So the water comes down a pipeline, which is not good for nature. And before it gets in your house, it pushes this. Now, when they show then, when they open the tap, as soon as they open the tap of the mains water, there's a poof sound. And that poof is the chlorine that dissipates in the air. And there's something that, now, they sell a handheld device. It's useless. I've tried it. I've never been in a house that I could install myself in the last 10 years because of my issues. But I would certainly now, Clayton Norton's mission is to have everyone, one in every household. They should be selling these for about $500. I think it's like $1,000 for a home device, but it's still much, much cheaper than other devices. So this is one way. Now it's a bit off the climate, but it is linked to the climate. I've seen videos where farmers use an industrial device, which is even a bigger one. It's like $2,000-3,000. They put it on a farm, and the farm they use it in strawberries is like 50% bigger than the farm with just normal water. And I know this is the future. Okay, the next one. So that I think was number 5 or something, or 6. I think that was 6. Ethical bank. So if we're on to 7, ethical bank. If you can please put on the Triodos link, please, Corine. So the number 7 is to, if it's number 7, to the triodos.co.uk. Number 7 is simply
you want me to
moving
go
back.
to the next link?
Yes, please.
Yeah, hold on.
I'll just talk about it so long. So move away from your bank to an ethical bank. So I moved about 6 months ago from my UK bank to an ethical bank. One of the advantages is that they invite you to webinars or Zooms. You can chat about things, so you're a smaller group. So there you go, triodos.co.uk is the one. Now, the reason why I like Triodos, because the original founder was Rudolf Steinberg. He's also part of the Waldorf School. And he was a big organic farmer. But one of the CEO of Triodos said there's a group of about 60 ethical banks. And it's what these banks are doing, they only invest in schemes. The money that you have just in your bank account, they obviously invest their surplus in ethical schemes. So one of the biggest things you can do is to move to an ethical bank. And what they're doing, Barclays have recently in the UK have announced that they're going ethical, but they're still way behind. It's going to take them at least 10 years to get to Triodos bank level. So these companies are pushing the big conglomerates. And this is one of the biggest things you can do is move to an ethical bank. It's a quick and it's fantastic. Really, I feel where you put your money, this is my Unicode book. It's a highly spiritual thing where you put your money, believe it or not. Okay, I'm just going on because we've got a lot to cover. Okay, the next one, Corine, could you go to my website, the lightsurface.me, and go right to the end? I've got a carbon calculator. Go right to the end. Yes. Now you see at the bottom, if you can click on that website carbon, the blue one, there, please. Yes, there. So click on it, please. So what you can do is you go to this I can't read that website carbon.com, but you go to mine at the end, and then you can see how clean or not your, just go down a little bit, Corine, just a little bit. Okay, so just stop, please. So you put your web page in there. Now mine is this website is 71% cleaner than others. My other 3 is like 50% or 51. But you can put your website in, you can see, and you can see yours is dirtier than anyone else's. Actually, do you want to put your website in there, Corine, as a test? Did you put your website in there? I don't want to show you up now, but it will be interesting to see. So, Corine, did you put your website in there?
Yes, I did, and that's what it's doing right now.
Okay, this is going to be really interesting.
That's why I brought up a new page to select.
Okay, but while we're waiting, while it's searching, so if you're dirtier, you can go to your web people doing your web and say to them, can you use web servers that use electrical energy? Because this web calculator knows what companies use green electricity. So that answers the lady that phoned in.
Oh,
whoa, Corine.
Oh my God, I am dirty. I
Oh,
need a bath. I need a bath. Let
yeah,
me have a look at it.
you need
I
to
need
speak
a
to
bath.
your
Oh,
now this. So the web people, when they talk in the
oh, I need a
cloud,
bath.
yes. So when they talk about the clouds, where you store
Every
things.
time someone visits, like this web, bug standard energy. Ew, what is bug?
Yeah. So just to explain what happens.
Oh
So
my God.
okay.
I
So
produce
just
714 billion bubbles, 31 trees. Oh my God. Let me see what I can do. Switch to a greenhouse. Make my website
okay.
more efficient. Plant trees to reduce. Oh my
Okay,
word.
Corinne, we've got a lot to
I
cover,
don't
and
even.
we've got a lot to cover, so I have to
Yes.
carry on. So after the shock, I have to carry on. So what happens is when they say you store things in the cloud, most people know that it's actually the computers is actually on the ground, and those computers that store all this, if they're not using green energy, then this is what happens. So you need to change the web guy, you need to change the server, the thing in the background. I don't fully understand it. But the other thing is, the more photos you use, you can downsize. You can have the same photo, but instead of being so many megabytes, four, you have point, something. It's all these kind of things they can do. Okay, we need to move on. Kindle books. Can you
Yeah.
go to Amazon.com, please?
Amazon or Google? You gave me Google.
No,
Oh, this is.
oh no, this is another one. Sorry. So before you go to Google, can you just go put in Amazon.com, please?
Where do you want me to go? Amazon?
Amazon.com, AMAZON.com, and
Mm-hmm.
then so click on that. Then under all, go to books, please. No. Under all there.
You
Now go up a
you
bit and you
wanted me to
see.
test it?
Yes. Can you go all? Do you
Okay.
see that search bar?
Okay.
It says
Is
all
this?
at the top. Click on that all.
Uh-huh.
No, just on the left of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there. And then click on that. And then it'll come up with a menu.
Click on which one?
It says there all. You see there all with a
Oh, yes, it's already
yes.
on
Okay.
all. Which one do you want me to
Yeah,
select?
no. Click on all. Click on the thing just to the right of all, please. Yes, there. Click.
Uh-huh.
Now
I did. Mm.
click again. It should come up with a menu.
Yes. What do you want me to select?
I want you to select books. So click on that thing that says all, please.
Yes, it's already there.
Books.
So what do you want
It's
me to put
books.
in the search?
Okay, if you can put in, so yeah, I wanted you to go books. And if you put in dyslexia, please.
Lexia.
Dyslexia. So DYS.
LIS.
No, DYS. D for Delta. Start again, please. D for Delta.
You want to put it in the
Y.
private one?
Dyslexia.
Or
DYS.
dyslexia.
That's it.
Okay,
Sorry, my
dyslexia.
pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, click. Okay, so now it's going to come up with books. Now, okay, that first book is paperback and Kindle. At least they've got a Kindle version. But what I want to see is, do you see the first two books? They've got paperback. But can you go to the third and fourth book as well?
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen the first two. Can you go
Mm-hmm.
to the third and fourth book? Now that one is paperback. The
Yeah, I'm on
fourth
the
book,
third.
go to the fourth,
Mm-hmm.
please. It's paperback. Go to the
Mm-hmm.
fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Paperback,
This
and
is
the next
the
one
fourth.
paperback. 80%. So that one has at least Kindle. I've checked. 80% of books on Amazon and others are paperback. That should stop straight away. And the first thing your listener can do is stop buying paperback, buy Kindle.
Mm-hmm.
And Amazon, we haven't got enough time. I wanted to show you that Amazon is now going green as well. They're using green electricity. So I see in the UK, Amazon, they're starting to buy electric vehicles as well now for delivery. Okay, so just don't buy paperback. I think this is number 7 or
Would
8
you be
we've
able to
discussed.
answer the question before we have gone over time, but could you answer the question on green energy that the guest
How much time? Have we still
had
got 5
asked?
minutes? Have we still got 5 minutes?
Yeah, I could give you 5 minutes, and we have to
Okay,
wrap up. I can give you 5 minutes.
okay,
I
okay.
want to
So
go
then I
back
have
to
to.
the question.
Okay, I'll have to go so quickly now. I'm going to answer the question. The next thing is number 8. Buy ethical phone. I bought a Fairphone 3 by a Dutch company. Computer. Start a computer company that's an ethical phone. Don't buy Chinese computers. So I bought a HP. HP and Dell. I found the HP to be the cheapest. Put house insulation in your house, because obviously that means that you don't have to use so much energy. Solar, the future for solar is in, so in Morocco, they've got a solar plant that's the size of Paris. And it's producing something like 25% electricity for the whole of Morocco. And they've now got storage. So what they do is they put salt is very cheap, and they put this through this solar system that's heated up by the sun, and it goes to something like 500 degrees Celsius, amazing temperature. And they store that heated salt mixture in tanks, and then during the nighttime, when they haven't got sun, they release that, and it via steam. So this is now the future. So in countries like yourself that got a lot of sun, everything should go solar, not by people on their roofs. The governments should be producing it. So that's answering the green energy thing. I wish we had more time, because we're really getting out to the interesting stuff. In the UK, asking UK government, don't go air heat source pumps, go geothermal. In an area, for every sort of 3 square miles, drill a 5-kilometer deep hole, and look at your payback over 50 years rather than just 20 years. And then bring in 30 degrees hot water into houses. And now for new homes, you can have underfloor heating that 30 degrees is sufficient. And then you just have electrical for the hot water. In homes that's got radiators that need 60 degrees, you just top it up with a water system using green electricity. Iceland has got 90% geothermal. Okay, and they have got more heating than more heat under the soil than the UK. For the UK government, don't go hydrogen boilers. I just want to say hydrogen is about 3 times more expensive than gas currently, because hydrogen has got a NOx gas. And that's bad for the lungs. Electric car, the UK is already going 2035 electric cars. Its electric car saves you about £2,000 to £3,000 a year, depending on how much you drive, compared to a petrol car in any event. So it made sense 10 years ago. So every year you're saving. So over 10 years you can pay your car off compared to a petrol car. A lot of people don't understand that. Airlines. Calling Richard Branson, go for an airplane that's half electric, so half with batteries, I know they're heavy, and half hydrogen. So although hydrogen is 3 times more expensive, we need to enjoy our world. So I'm not with the climate people on that, but we need to go green. And we can do it, and with airlines. And the last one is atmospheric methane. So atmospheric methane is 80 times more dangerous than CO2 over the first 20 years. And it produces 25% of the world's greenhouse gases, so temperature. 10% is humans and animals in nature. The other 15% is farm animals. Each human has got 30 farm animals, chicken, bees, whatever, cows and stuff like that. We need to cut those. And but we've had a talk on that before. So that is my spiel. Sorry for going slightly over and rushing it toward the
That's all right. I want to thank you so much, Karl, for being my repeat guest on my show, and I want to thank Stickman Sam09 from watching on Twitch. Thank you for viewing and interacting with us and engaging. And anybody else who will be watching, feel free to send in your questions. We will be able to answer them, even though it may not be live, but we'll still be able to interact with you because this is being streamed on Facebook, Twitch, as well as on YouTube. So we will still be able to engage and answer your questions. And I know Karl is very good with that. He follows the YouTube page and he does respond to persons there. So I want to thank Karl for bringing his wisdom and knowledge, and see him here again on Thursday. I think it is. Is it Thursday? March 4th. He will be here again discussing another topic that is clueless to me, but it is clueful to him. So please, but please be here again to check him out. It may be interesting. You may learn something, and you may have even more questions in your mind when you come from listening to Karl's interviews. So thank you so much, Karl, for being here. We did a lot. We went a lot over time. I will see you again on Thursday, March 4th. Thank you so much.